Welcome back, everybody. Today's the fifth training or maybe lesson of React, and today we will do some revision of class-based components, state, event handling, form, conditional rendering, and we also learn more features. Maybe also form validation. Okay, let's start from a previous. Okay, where did we stop? I think this is our folder, and let's have uh, it would be good to copy and move this to WEEK-5 and work from that. Or shall we start? I think I can create a new starter and you will have a chance to, I think, get used to everything, the starting. So WEEK-5. Okay, let's open this. Yeah, I'm in favor of opening it as in git bash. So I want to open it as in git bash. Oh, sorry. Yes, I think there are lots of opened. I want to destroy them. Yes, this is good enough now. So let's call a new npx create React app and the name of the application. For instance, yeah, React app WEEK-5, I may call it. By the way, if you just React app, it may not work because, as you can see, this command has some part of this is part of this command, so it may not work. But if I say React app WEEK-5, may work. Most probably it will work. Yeah. Now, until it finishes, let's see what we had last week. This is what we had last week. Even we can run it. Yeah, let's run this. And everybody knows how to run that. npm start. Where did I run this? It seems I run it in a, yeah, I think it's coming, yes. My internet is a bit slow or something. I don't know. It's a bit slow today. Oh, okay, maybe I'm doing two things, and let's see also this. It's finally great. It looks like this. What we did last week. Yes, this the Make Me Happy works by Mousing, yeah? And then we can change that person name, and maybe we can change the background also like this. Yep. And we can add someone here. Add someone and maybe and yeah, something like this. This is what we learned last week, and this the most important part in React. So how do we stop that? The running server, as you can see, we call this server. It runs at this port at 3000. So we have to stop it. How do we stop? Control C. You come here and you highlight this area, Control C. And then again, Control C or yes. Again, if you just do Control C, it will stop. Now, I want to exit from this, but as you can see here, my new React app is ready. I want to go to CD, React, then npm start or yarn start if you have a yarn, and let's wait for some time. Yeah, now it's a bit faster. This has been stopped, and we will do everything all over again actually. Yeah, so you will have a chance to revise, but a bit faster at this time. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now it's better if we, I think this is not the file we want to work on. Instead, we have to go here. Where did we create that? I thought we have created it inside here, but it was outside. It's okay. We will move that later. But anyway, I will work on here. Okay. So what you should start, you don't have to clean everything all the time. Just what you should do. Maybe some of the things you may just change right away. It could be, for instance, for me, sometimes this is not very fancy for me. I just want to just clean it because it just give me a kind of discomfort. Of course, this line is important, but now it's not important to explain. So it's better in sometimes just leaving it there. And some of are also important. Maybe you don't have also the idea of this search engine optimization. Anything you add here, the meta tags are related to search engine optimization, and that's something also you should consider to check or read. It doesn't take a long time to understand. Most of the time we put it here. Yeah, meta tags like description, website, for instance, here to make it more React or absolute beginners. So when it's searching with this keyword, it may show up. So you can optimize the search engine by adding different, maybe I can just show you meta tags for SEO. Even W3 School also has. These are good. Yeah. This can help you. But the amount of text you should put here, it reaches about how much? How many? Is it about 150 or 60 characters or something like that? Yeah. Okay, good. Now, as you can see, React app. I can change this getting started. React. Yep. As you can see now, it has been changed. Now let's go to the file in the source directory, this one, and just check by changing something. I love React. Yeah, I love React. And we don't need this spinning logo. Maybe I can just remove it, but instead of removing it from here, it's better to remove it here first. Yeah, because it was imported as in from where, as you can see, logo. It's coming from actually this one. Yeah, this is the logo as in a CVG image, and then it has been imported like this. So we don't need that image to spin like that, and even we don't need the header itself. Yeah, and then we may say h1 getting started React. Great, and now as you can see, this is a functional component, but yesterday or like last week we learned class-based component. It goes like this: hey the dog, and this is just a simple class in JavaScript. But for instance, if we have class animal, the dog can extends to animal. You remember this structure? A child and the parent relationship from the previous training from the JavaScript. You don't have to remember everything, but I tell you, this is a class, a parent class. And not to repeat codes, we use inheritance by creating a child, this one, the dog child, because dog and animals, I think, share lots of properties, lots of things in common. So we have the dog. Everything the animal has will be also in dogs. That's why we inherit. But in this case now, we inherit from import React from React. First, we have to import the React module. So this is already inside the node module. Okay, since it's in the node module, I think I showed you at some point. Maybe I can also show you where it is. I have to go all the way down. Our React is a bit down, right? R. Yes, React is here and React DOM is here. So React, as you can see, then instead we say, for instance, React.component. Now I am creating actually a component, a class-based component. And I say render, it has a built-in function and return some kind of h1. Hi, Fluffy. Yeah, so this is our component. And then I can render it here. Hey, dog. Yeah. Is everything? So as you can see, this one is just a simple JSX here, right? Is everything clear so far, guys?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the concept. Can we render a class component in a functional component? You may ask. Yeah, it's okay. No problem. But most of the time, we have just most of the time, the class component are a kind of a parent component. So now let's just ignore that one and let's change this to a class component. So you just go to class, and then the name is app, extends from, no, not from, okay, React dot component, and we don't need this parentheses, and then we can just take out this and add render, and then inside I can just, and we don't have any more of this. Please get back. Yeah, now we change this to class-based components. So classes can have state. Oh, state, we love you. A state of being something, being happy, being sad, being excited. Yes, now, for instance, my state mood is actually happy, happier than ever before, even happy. Okay, thank you. Then how can we access this object, this state? We can just render a p. My state now is, I can say, this dot state. Tell me, what's the key for this object?
Mood.
Yes, mood. Yeah, my state now is happy. Yeah. Can anyone change me to sad or being excited? More like, yes. Now we should interact, and we can have some event handling somewhere. A button. Why it's not completing for me? Button, change mood. Oh yeah, that's nice. So how do we learned that different event, an event would be a click, for instance. Now let's just write anonymous function that alert, okay? Hi. As you can see, I just wrote a very simple function here. It says hi whenever it clicked hi. Yeah, so that means at least I'm interacting, but usually we don't write something here. We write, but it's not the best way when you have much code, okay? So it should be better writing separate the function. But let's just finish it here actually by changing the state. This dot set state, we have an object set state, and that change a mood actually. And then we can say mood to be super excited even. Yeah, then if you change, my state nice, super excited. Oh yeah, that's state. And maybe now, if that's not clear, can we just have one state in like state object, one key? No, you can have as many keys as possible if you have. Like, for instance, let's count the same example of what we did last time and see p here maybe, and the count. Tell me, how do I access this count? Tell me.
This does state.count.
Yes, it's dot state dot count. And then as you can see, it's 0 there. And now our plan is actually, we have to change this count, maybe +1, or maybe just -1 or -5, whatsoever you want to do. Let's try. No, that's okay, -1. It's just, let's try step by step. Do you think it start increasing if I click on here?
No.
No, not at the moment.
Yes, thank you. Too quick, right? We didn't do anything yet. Okay, so we have to connect it. On click. Yeah, then this dot set state, you can just select only the count part, count, and then actually this dot state dot count plus 1. Now, as you can see, I am actually getting the value of the count. I'm accessing, and you may think that am I mutating the data or not? But when it comes to a single value, we should just worry about data mutation if we are handling array or object. Okay, array or object. That is the time you should really worry. Maximum depths exceeded. What happened?
Maybe it's not a function, the second function on click. Is it? Should it be?
What?
Like second button, is it a function?
The second, it have here, this dot state dot count. Oh, right.
Maybe you have not had events in line 20 in front of this. Yeah, where you go forward, like function.
Yeah, the parentheses after.
Yeah.
The parentheses.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like returning the function there. Like on click, curly parentheses, then round and arrow function. Should it be like arrow function?
Oh yeah, you're right. Yes. Thanks, because it's invoked already, like it's similar to this. I think this was, I think it's better if I go back and I want to ask you what's the reason I am having that problem and why it works when we change it on a row function. You guys tell me. Because it's,
that?
Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Someone was about to answer. Yeah, this row function actually it encapsulates it. It's not. It will be invoked later. Okay, but this one is actually I'm invoking it. It's invoked, and if it's invoked, it will be continuously get invoked, and it's a crash. Your application will definitely get crashed. So now this one is working because we fixed that, and this doesn't. And if you want to implement the same thing, actually what you should do, we don't need this button. We can change this to minus and change this to -2. That's too quick, right? Yeah. This is what we have learned, and we also managed to change the background even, like a color, okay? And maybe we have an original white. And let's change the background of this. Maybe if you say style, and you may say a background color, and this dot stay dot color. Yeah, let me show you. And if we change this to purple, this is the original state, as you can see. Yeah, and of course now if we want to cover the whole page, maybe you may say height or minimum height. I can use this 100 view height, and that will take it all the way down, and it will be something like this. And if you want a color, maybe we can say white, and don't put like that, it should be a string. Okay, good. But now the point is we have to have a click, and we have to change the background color. Change button, change background. Background. Yes. Sometimes I made a typo. Now when we click this, it should change the background color. The last time Femi asked me, no, it's just, it doesn't make sense to have just one or two colors. And yeah, as he said, that's true, but we have lots of functions we wrote at some point, right? And
yeah, we have the generator, the
yes,
hex color.
yes. So we can make use of that. For me, web dev tools. Then I think I have some also. If I go here, I may have some codes which I have to generate, which I may go. I think this is okay to use. So I have a very small function. I can just give you here, as you can see, you have a chance to see, yeah, hexacolor generator 0 to 9, A to F, right? You have to have a string, you have to have an accumulator, you have to iterate 6 times, and you have to append it with a hash, and then you have to return it. And then I'm not a fan of anymore of semicolon because I wrote this function 100 years ago. Still, there is some semicolon. No, I'm not going to use anymore any kind of semicolon. Yes, so some people may say, are you writing without semicolon? Yes, it's okay. Yeah, we're not in. It was like kind of a very good discipline to write semicolon, but I think it's not any more fancy to write it. Yeah. Anyway, okay, so now let's write some change background color. You may write a method here and let index, for instance, because we have to generate an index. Even now, yeah, index, but I think now even we don't have to, because we have this function. We can call this function now and then, and we can say set this dot state, and color is equal to hexa color. So we generate it and we leave it here, but I forgot to put it in something like this. Yeah, I'm happy for this. I have the function, the generator, that generate a hexa color, and now when it's clicked, I generate and assign it there. Let's see. Now, where is it? Yeah, now after this, if you click this, yeah, maybe the reason we didn't attach it here. On click, this dot state dots, not actually, you will have to change, we have to call the function, not the value, this. Now if you say different colors are coming, yeah?
Sorry, could we put this function inside render?
Render?
Mm-hmm.
Where?
Under render and before return. Could it be there? Like, if it could be there, we could not use it without this dot.
Yes, this you can use it like this, like here, and
no. Like render return and between those.
Here.
Yeah.
And honestly, yeah.
The whole like change background.
Oh no, never. No. Yes, very good question. That's a very good question. Most probably you can put this one, but all the methods should be outside the render, okay? All the methods. Anything related to methods should be outside, yeah?
Okay, thanks.
Yes, great. But such kind of little function there, you may have a chance to write it, but it doesn't have any logical reason to write it here. If I were you, I would write it here one way, or another. I may write it outside without this, and then I will make it accessible here. Let me show you. I'll destroy what I have, but to access, I have to use this. Now, this function will be used in other methods too. So this is a kind of utility function that I can use for this or for other methods too, as you can see. So how do I access this function? Using this keyword. From this class, hey, please give me the hexa color, this. Let's try. Yeah, still working. Or even you can import it, or maybe I think another way, you can even put it outside as in a global function, and that can be also accessed. But now I can use it like without this. And then I can still access it. Yeah? Is that clear, guys?
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, then let's move on to input handling. Yeah. Do you remember last week we just wrote some kind of input? Input is so nice and a very cheap way of handling data. Yeah. Maybe you have seen it here already, but I think let's add some break and it will be down the way. Yeah, this nice. So you can write something, yeah, but the thing is, how do we handle this data? By the way, it has lots of attributes here, right?
Type.
Yeah.
Yes, the type allows us to write text, and now it's text actually, and it allows us to write maybe number, and it allows us to write now a number, as you can see, and even it allows us to date. And
File. Color.
yes, it just HTML5 is so powerful, as you can see. Even you can ask someone's favorite color or whatsoever. And yeah, so even by changing this to checkbox, and it will be a checkbox of something like this. Yeah, and now let's try to handle such a kind of data. Now let's just change it to just text. By the way, if you don't pass a text, by default it's the text, but let's just keep it the text. And even it takes a value. For instance, let's just sample text. If you put some sample initial text, it's hard to edit. Yeah, so don't put any sample text or whatsoever. Let's just put leave it like empty placeholder. And the placeholder is actually, we can say, a first name. Yeah, first name. But if I may try to write, it's not allowing me to write. Why, guys, tell me? I can't. Because I just give a value, and the value is all the time empty. Yeah, here. And if you put something, and if you try to, yep, no, you can't. So this value, if you give it a value, it should be dynamic, or you don't have to give it. Then actually we can say here a value, or maybe a text, yeah, or a term. Let's see, value, and then maybe just we can say, oh, what did I do? We can access that value. What's happening there? Let me. This dot state dot value. There should be a space, and Now, if I write, it doesn't allow me actually still, but let's put some value here, some value. Oh yeah, you see the value? Yeah, but still I can't really change this and I can't handle it. So we need a handler. We call it handle on change or handle change, I can call it. And E, the target, and let's see, console.log e.target.value. I think you may understand, you may remember this from the that means E refers to this element and then the target element, and then the value. Let me show you. I think it's better if we just, but I think I can open the console. The console is much better because it's not that much annoying. Okay, let's write something. Yeah, but because this is not attached to the input, so let's attach it. On change. It has on change event handling. That means when something changes, you see the value, or so handle this dot handle change. Yep. Have you seen that? You see the value on, but the thing is, we don't need a fixed value. And it's hard to know what's happening. So we just want to make it empty. I tried to write D, and of course you saw E, D, and now E, A, but I couldn't manage to write over here. So let's set the value here, this dot set state, and we can say value is equal to E dot target dot value. I think again I forgot the curly bracket because this is an object and you set it like that. And then if you say now, it starts remembering actually. And yeah, so everything you write, you will see. For instance, React. Yeah. And then last time we saw this two-way data binding. If we have some p tag here, this dot state dot value, and you will see what you're writing somewhere. Okay, I love React as much as I love JavaScript. Yeah, and if you really delete it also, you see right away when you just delete, yeah? So it's very reactive. This is what we learned last week, right?
Yeah.
Yes, so before we leave, let's do more of the thing. So let's just remove the happiness and whatsoever, and just let's focus on form data, okay? I can keep this, but since you have the code in other from the previous, so I will destroy this one. Okay, or maybe I can just, why I destroy? No, destroying is not a very good idea. I can just take a snapshot of this. Okay, and then keep it somewhere. And then I call it actually a backup or resource, just self-name. Revision.js. As you can see, I put it like a component. Yeah, that's good. And then you can just make use of this if you want. Now we're so free to delete anything we want. Yeah, I don't need this. And I don't need any color. And I don't need also any background or whatsoever style or whatsoever here. I think I destroyed it. And my state whatsoever here, we don't need up to here. Yeah, this is what we need. Okay, we have this, and the lesson today is more of HTML for handling. Officially learning how to handle a form, right? Yes, we have so far one of this, one input field. And now instead of just first name, let's value, let's change to first name. Yeah. And if you change this to first name, this has to be also changed to, actually this okay, but this has to be first name. And we don't have to print every now and then. Okay, usually we use a form itself. This is the form, the HTML form, and we put our inputs there. And then we need this another button, and we call it submit. Maybe it's good if I can break with this. Or maybe even I don't like to use I can break it using a div, you know? We can div, then we can put our, if I click this, oh yeah, have you seen something, guys? When I'm submitting?
Yes, he's trying to do something, right? Yeah.
Okay, now I'm clicking and tell me what you notice. There are some of the silly questions I ask you are so very important, okay? Actually, they are not silly. Anyways, very important, you should notice what's going to happen when I click it, and we will answer that. But I want you to notice it. Okay, I'm about to click. Yes. You saw something has been refreshed, the page has been refreshed, and the route is not anymore at 3000, instead slash and some question mark. So that means it was forwarded or redirected to some other link, unknown link, question mark, and the page has been refreshed. So this is how the web used to work in old days, but now it's a bit different. Once the pages are refreshed, that means it has a completely new state. All the stored data is not there anymore. So it starts from a scratch. You know, if you store something in an array or in a variable, it's not anymore there if the page refresh, right? So we have to avoid that because we are not dealing with old way of handling pages. Anyway, this is like it's trying to send something to the server because form used to handle a data. Of course, it handles data now, but in this kind of like it has to refresh and it has to send you to another page. But nowadays we can handle data, we can send data to the server without going to another additional page while we are on the same page. And this gives a very user-friendly kind of experience. So it increases the, the satisfaction of the user. It is a good user experience staying at the same page. So how can we avoid? Okay, because this is actually, if there is a button, if there is a form, and if we click the submit button, it's like a submission. So we have to handle the submit. Handle submit, again E. Now the E refers to actually the form, so we have to attach it on submit, on submit handle. Let's do here. Alert. Are you trying to send something to the server? kind of question now. When I am clicking, I have to see this message. Are you trying to send something to the server? Yeah, it's already, I've been already redirected. As you can see, I'm in a different. Okay, let me just remove that. Oh no, it should be 3000. Okay, yeah. If the page refresh, everything we stored will vanish, and it has to be avoided. So now we should avoid that refreshing of the page and redirecting e.prevent default with this. E.prevent default means we are forcing the form to change its default behavior. And now let's see, nothing is happening. But it's because of the what is this? Alert is sometimes annoying. So I can do the console.log. Console.log. I am not refreshing the page anymore. Okay, wait. Yeah, let's see. Huh? Then I made some mistake then. Okay, this has to be written where? There. I have to write this here, and I have to call this dot handle submit, because why is that?
There's one extra bracket.
Extra bracket, even we don't need this. Yeah. That's the problem of copying. Yes. Yeah, because we have to call this one, and now when I'm trying to do that, yeah, let me try this. Remove. Yeah, maybe I will show you. If I don't have this line, you will see it. The problem, you will see the problem. Okay, now you can see, yeah, it's refreshing, it's spinning, yeah? Look at it again, it's spinning. And we are also in a different route. Now let's turn this on. And if even because, let me see, you saw this has been printed out, but it vanished, yeah? Who's noticing that, guys? Do you see it? Because I want everybody to see it. This printed out for a while, but it's not there. This is a very common problem when you are developing, okay? Now, yeah, it has been there. Okay. Now let's use the e.prevent default, and let's also remove this. Now, look at it. No refreshing, and the data will never vanish. Oh yeah, it feels so good. Does it? Oh.
Yes.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now, whatever you fill in here, we handle in our submit console.log. What do we have? This .state.value, I mean first name, because now this is the place where you connect your database to send the data to the server. And let's see if I write, for instance, John, let's see, I have to print this John here, no? John is here. So John can be sent to the server, to the database to be stored. And now let's create another I mean, we don't send only first name, guys. We have to have also some kind of last name. So we can do the input type text, and a placeholder if we want. We can call it a last name, and we can say again value, and we may say similarly this dot state dot last name, and then we can close it. And of course, similarly, we have on change here. We have to have also on change this handle on change. Does it matter the sequence of this? No, it doesn't matter, but it's all the time good to have to follow some kind of a similar pattern, you know, instead of just a very mixed way. It's better to put in a kind of similar pattern. Okay, but this sequence, and it doesn't really matter. Okay, now we have two candidates. Okay, then we should have also the last name. Yeah, maybe now if I write here Sabine and last name, but did we really yeah, yes, I'm getting that, but this is not working yet. How do I make this work? The second one. Maybe you may suggest to me something like this, the state. Do you think this could be a solution?
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
I
Then
think
it's a different one.
State.
Hmm?
You need to have a separate set state.
Separate set state.
Yeah.
Okay, then handle change first name.
Yeah, and then last name.
Handle last name, and this part will take care of the, and this will be taken care of. Is that your suggestion?
Then you need to change it also from
the bottom.
button. Yeah.
Yes, this is going to be handle change first name, and this handle change last name. Let's see. That's a very good idea. It worked. Yeah, and it does, of course. But how about if you have a form that takes maybe 20 or 15 fields? Are you going to write that amount of functions?
Well, it's easier with one function that does it for each.
Yes. So how can we develop a single function that can be take care of everything? Let's get back to handle change, and this should manage to take care of, I think. Okay, I will help you that. I will just understand. Okay. Have you seen? I was actually we didn't give. Do you remember? We can also give names for name. For instance, I can call this first name. I can give it ID or first name, and then I can give also this one name again, last name, because the value is the same, but at least we can identify these guys by what? By their name. Okay, I will show you step by step, and let's also get back to handle change instead of this long thing. Handle change. Handle change. I can just also remove the other alternatives because we're not, oh, did I remove them already?
Sorry.
Yes.
Why do we use last name as a render from the button at the bottom instead of follow? Yeah, that place. Yeah.
This?
No. Line 52. Yeah. Instead of
Last name.
follow
Which
line
one?
45.
This?
No, I mean this state dot last name.
Because it should this dot last name. Yes, actually it should be the last name, and this should be also first name, because we don't have value anymore, because now we have first name, last name is ours. The value is not anymore, because this was when the state was a value, you know. We start with a value, right? And we forgot to change it.
Okay.
Yeah, now we don't have any more a value. Instead, we have a first name and last name. And this is working. It's not working for some reason now. Let's, yeah, because it shouldn't work because we destroy it. Okay, now I will show you step by step. What is E? And to see E, actually, let's click on here. Have you seen you got something? Syntactic based event. I think during the React DOM, we have, JavaScript DOM, we've been talking about the DOM structure. This target is actually, it will help us to get the DOM object, target. What's the target looks like now? If you just, now the target gave us actually the HTML element. Okay, now we can extract from this, for instance, how about the value or the name? For instance, the name, let's see. What's the name of this? It's first name. Oh, nice. What's the name of this? Last name. Even we managed to get this. If we have another, for instance, another also maybe country, let's just change this so fast. Country. This can be capital because it's for UI purpose. Country, and we have to have also now country. I think by now you should notice that using the on change, I was actually I managed to get their name, right? Yeah, as you can see, first name. Yeah, because I can't write, but now how can we make this? So from what can I do with the first name actually? Yeah, we can do what we can do using the first name. With the name, the name or last name or the country name, or the name of the element, we can extract the value. Then you can just get value after this. Yeah, let me just show you. Yeah, now if I write a.target value, wait, first name undefined, why it's undefined? Yeah, because we didn't set the value, so it's hard to see the value here. And now, so I think the easy way, this dot set state, I will show you. I can say this dot state dot name, not actually, sorry, a dot target dot name. What do you get here? When we click here, what do I get? First name. So the first name will be a key here. Maybe I think you don't know the structure, so I have to show you somewhere. or maybe here. I'll show you. Let is equal to let city is equal to Helsinki, and we have maybe we have a country, const country, and I have this country, and name of the country is Finland. What do you have now? You have a variable city Helsinki, and you have an object a country, and I want to use this as a keyword. Actually, another way of creating, you can say of course you can just create it country and you can just city and the value, right? The city value. Yeah, this is. But this just now, this is just dynamically created, this city. But sometimes we want to use that. For instance, here I want to make use of this name as in a variable here. This is the name itself, and it should come dynamically. When this is clicked, it should be first name here dynamically. When this is clicked, last name, and when this is clicked, it should be country. So in that case, I will show you, I will destroy this, refresh. I have this. Let me show you. A country, and if you do something city, city. Now I'm making use of this city exactly like on the fly. This. No, actually the Helsinki, the value is stored. If I'm doing this, so Helsinki will be the key, and it will be Helsinki actually, but it doesn't make sense, right? Let's see. Helsinki. So sometimes we can make use of, we can make the stored value as a key we may want. So, okay, what do we get from here? What's coming? The value of this. The value stored in here is actually name, first name. Then we want to use it as in a keyword. So this, then what do we want to get from that? e.target.value. And this should be as in object. Yeah, I know this might not be so straightforward to understand. After this, actually, we can catch the values. And for you, it will be easy if I print this out. Okay, console.log, e.target.name, and e.target value, because you will have a chance. Have you seen now? What's the name? What's the name?
D.
No, the name is first,
Okay.
and the values D. Have you? The name is all the time the same. Yeah? Have you seen? Okay, let's go for this. Yeah. Let's go for this. The name remain the same because we are grabbing the name and we are using this, the value, we get this from, where do we get that actually? Because the name of this input field is country. The name of this input field is last name. The name of this input field is actually first name. So we can make use of dynamically. Then let's just store Sabine and Itai and Finland. So now, if you see some kind of, yeah, so when I was writing, it has been printed, this has been printed out. So now if I click, I have to get the data. Only this one, because what I was trying to print out here, this .state.first name. After this not only data, I want to send it to the server, all the data. So it should be somehow Asabena. I have here, as you can see, yes, very good data, ready for sending. Yep, you see now an object. What do you think?
Sorry, can we use this method to render data into database?
To send it to the database, yes. Now, if we have an API or an endpoint of our database, with this click, it goes. Now, I may show you the MERN, the last, maybe I think it's not anymore working because the free plan has finished already. Maybe I have to turn it on. Okay. Yeah, but yeah, it does. It does. Okay, I think let's have a 15 minutes break and we will continue from here. What we should do actually, we can add also additional data and we will populate this. We will populate means we create a user card by adding user, okay? Good. Let's have 15-minute breaks and I will see you after 15 minutes. See you soon. Bye. Welcome back, guys. So we have so far 2 fields, as you can see here. No, actually it's 3 fields, but what is this S coming? Is that, can we write? Oh, we can still write. That's great. So it's just, it was there. And I can write my name. It's so easy to fill then. Yep. Then you can submit. Yeah, here you have. But you know, sometimes we should have more than that. Email, it could be email and other data too. Yeah, for instance, we can handle people's, oh, there was S in here. How about the skills, you know? Or maybe gender. Gender is good. Gender. What gender someone may have. Let's go. When it comes to gender, actually, guys, the input is different. Input type, and it's going to be radio, right? Yeah, radio. Of course, we have to have a label in the other side, and the label is going to be, and it starts usually from male or female. It doesn't matter.
Or
Yeah.
can we use a selection?
What?
Select. Or can we use select or option?
Yeah, I'm coming to that too. And we will see all of them, okay? We will see all the different forms of data handling, yeah? Now, I have to have ID here, and I can call this female. And for HTML4, we call it again female. Do you remember here in the HTML part how we connect? Yeah, I'm clicking on the label, but I managed to check the radio button by just clicking the label. So you should have the same ID and this the HTML4. If it was just HTML, it should be 4, but now it's React. The 4 is reserved, okay? Yes, now let's have also, for the male part, what's this additional? Okay, male, but this should be capital, right? Male. And there might be also others. We can change this other. Oh, why capital? Other, and maybe it's better to make this all capital. And the reason why, maybe I didn't have a break here. Let's have a break. Now it seems we have this, and remember we have still this HTML, no CSS, the default CSS, which is affecting our, we can just remove not to be surprised, okay? Remove and don't be, you will not be surprised, okay? Oh, still the same? Yeah, no, it's not. It's not the same. Now, nothing will surprise us because it doesn't have any, it doesn't have any kind of CSS. Great. Now, when we, let's add a kind of handler on change and see what's happening on change. Now, this starts handle change. And just you copy and paste everywhere. Here. And then here. Okay. Now you have to print something, you know, from the here console.log e.target target. Actually, there's already this value, so we can see what's happening by interacting with this. I'm clicking this. As you can see, I saw on. On means actually it's a kind of clicked on. Yeah. So have you seen, guys? I had a problem. All are selected,
Yes.
and even I can't even change them. How do I? Yes.
You need to add a name, common name for those three radio buttons, right?
Yes. So I need a name for all of them, and the appropriate name for this could be gender, because they all deal with gender. So let's have a gender. Yes, of course we have, but for this application, let's add a gender. Okay, now I think it's right away, just stop. Gender on. Yes. So as you can see, but actually it's not the way we select, where is it? Yes. A.target.value gave us on, yeah? But we want to get the value. What's the value? How do we get? Okay. Okay, let me think. How do we get? I think I have some code I can check from that. I was opening a few minutes ago. If the type is checkbox, we can go for the checked, but for the rest is a value. Okay, good. So I think the value can give us for that one too, but so far until line 26 on gender. Okay, let me try to set the value. Oh, sorry for that. A gender on, but it's a okay. Oh yeah, we didn't set value. Yeah, sorry guys. So we have to set value for this. Value for this one, we have to manually set female, right? And for this one, we have to set male. And for this one, we have to set other. Now we will get, if we select this one, as you can see, it's male. And this one, yes, great. Now, for instance, I can go for a Sabena. And if I go for a male, and if I print out, okay, so what's this country? First name, gender, male. Yeah, good enough, right? And now let's move on to checkbox. What are the skills we offer? Let's have deep. Great. Maybe you may have input and type the checkbox. Checkbox. Great. Yes. So now if you see checkbox, I can add some additional P maybe here. Select your skills maybe. And I may add a label. I think I'm expecting everyone has HTML here. And let's do the same thing, connecting ID. You can just call it this HTML. And HTML4 here, you can call it again HTML. And then it's connected. By clicking this, you're selecting this, yeah? All right. Now let's do more of this. Div. I'm doing this, and I will do a couple of more. Yeah, that's quite a lot already, right? But we change this to CSS. 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 And this is JS. This is JS and JavaScript. Oh, great. And maybe I can call this one React. React. Great. Now, yeah, I have some and I can unclick. So again, we have to handle the on change. Yeah, it's just you copy this and add the listener. Yeah. And actually, for some reason, my linter is not. No. Yes, okay. Okay, good. Now let's just copy and just put everywhere. Yeah. And the best thing to do, we should better see what's happening by clicking. As you can see now, it says again on the same thing, but because we didn't give it value for this one too. What kind of value do we expect from here? Actually, we can predefine the value actually HTML. And then if this one is actually clicked, I'm expecting CSS. And if this one is clicked, I'm expecting JavaScript. And if this one is clicked, I am expecting React. And now let's see. Yeah, it's changing as you can see. Oh, great. Yep. So, but now as you can see, so how do we put it here? Like skills or what? Skills, for instance, and something like this.
Array.
Array, that's a very good idea. Array is a very good idea, to be honest. Yeah, but we can also put it in array and what? Maybe I think object, and you may go for HTML, and it's just empty, CSS empty, and JS empty, and React empty. What do you think with this? Because initially we have skills, we can't make it one, right? Because we have a couple, we're expecting a couple of datas, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or all.
Yeah, one or all, or a couple of them. So I may expect this. Or you may just also, you may start with a false or something like this. And how can we handle this? But the type is actually, what kind of type it has, this one? Let me show you. We can also get actually e.target type. Okay, so this one has radio type. This one has checkbox type. This one, as you can see, text type. So based on the type, the value is actually checked or something. Let me just e.console.log e.target checked. Yeah, have you seen this? Checked is true. So we can, if it's checked true, then we can just, if this is checked, that means, okay. Now let's handle the data, start handling the data or populating. So I may have if type, actually if e.target.type is checkbox, we have to set it differently. Else this. But if it's checkbox, we have to do something different. What do? We may do this dot set state and skills. Okay, we have skills. And how do we set the skills? Do you remember, guys, a mutation of object, spread operator, something like this? Dot this dot state dot skills. What am I doing here? Copying what I have in here. Yeah. And then I can say, because if you remember the name, again, I can go this one. And then the value e.target value. Let's see what we get from this. By submitting. It seems that it's empty. Everything is empty here because maybe the way I do the copying was not good. So what's the mistake we made here? Okay, let's also see the name of each of the checkbox. checkbox.
Also, sorry, in that upper line where you write checkbox, it's like the spelling. It's like spelling is not correct there.
Where?
Hop. Yeah, line 35.
Line 35. You mean here?
Goes. Yeah, checkbox.
Okay, that is also not good. Which, yeah, that could be actually a big mistake. Let's fill that. And if it doesn't work with this, we may consider other. As you can see, we don't have data, but actually we also forgot to give name for our, this doesn't have names.
But the JavaScript, for example, now somehow went there, but in the wrong one. In skills, if you see in the console, there is JavaScript that created a new.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, but that's not how we want it actually. But
Yeah.
I think we didn't get name for this. We didn't give name for these guys. We have to give them name. What's their name? HTML. Because that is how we target them actually. So we have to have a kind of a name to call those guys. So I want to call this one CSS. And I want to call this one JavaScript or JS. And I want to call this one React. Then I think now we will manage to target them. Let's just do 2 of them. Yep. Have you seen now? We managed to handle this and this. But these are empty. If you continue adding value, it will be populated, of course. Now, if you see again, now we have all the 4 skills. Great. So it's a bit, this one is complicated, guys. Even you have to learn this very well, because the first time when I was teaching this, it was really hard to find a blog that explains well how to handle form data. It was like 3 years ago or something. So I'm happy with this code, and you should really repeat it a couple of times and understand. So all the time you should have a name, and we had a name to handle, as you can see. Everywhere we have a name. Here, for instance, we have a name. Tell me what's the name for all these input values. It's the same. Why we made it the same? Because we select one thing at a time, not multiple. It's radio button. Yeah, it's gender. But when it's come to the skills, it's a checkbox. So we select multiple things, and we have to accumulate. So we had this object, and this name is actually referring to this, and then this, no, sorry, this, and then this. Okay, someone was asking me, how do we handle this? But before that, also, let's add some kind of bio or motivation later, whatsoever, because we want this an application. So we need an application from someone. And so let's write some text area. Where shall we write? This form has to handle every kind of data, okay? Div and the text area. Yeah, text area, as you may know, by default, you may get such kind of a tiny text box. Then you may add columns. Columns, I may usually use the number of columns. Actually, 80 is good for me. rows, the number of rows 10 could be enough for something. Yeah, some kind of. Yeah, so yes. Then you may say, write your motivation here, or you may leave your message or feedback here. Motivation, okay. Yes, something like this. Now, do you think we can handle the message in this text box? Shall we just click and see? Oh, yeah. Let's see. Even it's not as in an empty field, because it's not even there in the state. So let's add it in the state. What name do you want to give it? It could be message if it's a message, or motivation, or comment box. It could be motivation. It sound good, right? So it's a text, then it's just the string is okay for the time being. Yeah, now if you click, maybe most probably you will have at least motivation was empty. Yeah, that's a very good progress, guys. And then what you need to give is actually name. The name motivation, the same as what you gave at the top. Motivation is not like this. Yeah. Okay, good. Then you may add also the on change, the same on change, because our on change handle any scenario. On change, handle change. Okay, handle change. Great. This handle change. I think now it will. It should handle what? It should handle data. Let's see. Let's write something. And if you click, yeah, we should get something. Yeah, let's write something. Great. I think now what's left is select. Yeah, options. What language do you speak? Where shall we put? We can put somewhere here.
Email and password. Email.
What did you say? Yeah, we can say here what is maybe I think, yeah, what course do you like to attend? Maybe it's just, I can just, because in this also it's a select. I want you to select one, and so you need a select, and then you need option. Is it going to be JavaScript, or is it going to be Python? Or is it going to be React? I think for the time being this is enough. Okay, good. As you can see now we have a select, yeah? But it is not part of our data, you know? Then what name do you want to course? Course, the person is about to be enrolled or something. Course. Okay, good. Then if I call that course, I have to also call the select itself a course. Name a course. And on change, handle change. Yeah. Now if you see, if you change something, you may see the value changing. Undefined for select one course. Yeah, select course React. Yeah, this the course is the name of the course is the name of the select, and React is the value it was selected. Yeah, actually it's a then what we do, let's try by selecting just JavaScript and see what we have in here in the course. Have you seen we have JavaScript? Yes. What is left actually? Yeah, what's left is actually handling a file. Maybe you may want the file, this person's CV, or maybe a kind of here's a photo, profile photo. It could be it, or maybe you may want a video of this person. Hey, send a video of your motivation, and let's see how motivated you are in the job or whatsoever. And this is going to be file, and HTML5 out of the box give you a way to handle this. Yeah. Then we have to again put on change, and we have this dot handle change. Let's see what's happening. Yeah, maybe I have to go to the pictures and select the penguin here. I love penguins. Have you seen the file name? We got some file name.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you just send something, it might be, let's see. Yeah, the reason why we didn't, this file name is supposed to be here. Yeah, so we have to work on that. How do we work on that? Because how do we get the value? I have to check again. Let's select this. This is coming from 35. Let's see, line 35. Line 35, a.target.type. What's the type? File. Have you seen? If it's a file, because we have to, and then target name. What's the target name? Nothing. The value, yes. But for some reason, I was expecting that I think this should be the name. And but you should have get in. Okay, let's try once, because when I see now everything's correct and we should have gotten the real data. Let's go for React, and let's have all of them super excited to attend such an awesome course. Okay, whatever. But anyway, how about if we go more of a flower thing now, and if we see what we submitted, and that would be yeah, but why it's not in the
Sorry, I think that upload input, it doesn't have a name.
Oh, we didn't? Oh, thank you so much. Again, yep, again, we forgot the name. We can call it file. Yes, thank you so much. Someone save my time. And again, now Python this time, but it doesn't go. Let's go for React. Thank you so much for your help. And not this time. Yes, jellyfish. Oh yeah, thank you so much. Now, as you can see, this file has been corrupted and it can be sent to the server. No, this is a full data about someone, okay? Now, but when it comes to file handling, it's a bit tricky, and you will learn this when you become a backend, a full stack developer, when you will be able to connect both the front end and the back end. So we don't invest much time on the file part because we don't make that much progress now. And let's just disable that by commenting them out, and we will continue on the other part of. So now you have this and you can handle any data. Okay, but after that, let's just fake it up by just accumulating what we have here. Now we may just see maybe students. These are my students, and I want to collect the number of students I have. You know, how many students do I have? I can go all the way down, but as you can see, this file is getting bigger. So how about if you're putting it to a different file? We will come to that one. Like instead of saying file, I should have said component. Okay, number of students. This dot state, tell me you tell me this dot state dot students dot length, because we are interested in the number, right? So you may expect number of students 0, right? Yep. Now I want to add students, and my student will populate at the bottom. Okay, how? But this file is really huge. But we have to have a method that's add student. Yeah. Okay. This is student. To add it, there should be a student object or an object, right? Student object. And this student object has to be pushed to the here, students. Okay, that's so easy, straightforward. And last time I showed you 3 ways of avoiding data mutation. And now I go for the spread operator, this dot set state, and then student. First, I want to just copy the students like this dot state dot students. Yeah, and then after that, what did we do? Do you remember? You just drop the student. First, we copied it. We copied this and spread it to this array, and then we just added additional here, new student. Or another way, if you want the other, maybe you can say const students, sorry, then this dot state dot students dot slice. By slicing, the slice actually it's a copy, and then what you should do, students dot push this one, and then you don't have to do this students. If you have the same key and the same value, one is enough. You can avoid it and you can write it this way. I don't know which one is so easy for you, this one or the previous one.
I like spread.
Yes, the spread will be again this state dot students, and then just drop the new student behind, then you don't have to have all this line. Great, now let's stick into this. Or the other method I showed you was actually the concat, but now let's put a 7 here again. He wants to learn this and he has this skill. I really like to attend in this course. I have already some experience of HTML and CSS and JS. Okay. Yeah, I will select every area. Now let's click. But this didn't increase for some reason. So that means we have bug. Have you seen there's also some errors here. So we have to just and see what's happening. Oh, we didn't add anything for some reason. Students.
Did we use it somewhere?
Oh, well, what's the problem, guys?
We didn't use?
Yes, we didn't use this. We wrote it, but we didn't use it anywhere. So where do you think this will be called, this function? So as you can see, it's a class-based function, so I have to call it here. I have to call it here. This dot state, no, this dot add student, and then I need everything from here. So if I need everything from there, because it's an object, I can call it this dot state. I just pass everything. Now let's see, even just without adding a value, let's see if the state, have you seen this? It's increasing. Have you seen it? Oh yeah. But if you go and check, the state might not have, this, I think we are not printing it anywhere. We can print the, yeah, because we have removed it. Console.log, this dot state. Yes, after refresh, this is 0. It starts from 0 again. And I think let's clean that. Have you seen? And if you go to, yeah, this now has 1 data. By now it should have 2 data, 3 students data now. Have you seen? But if you get in check, empty. Okay, now let's add someone, and the next we will add someone else. I'm happy I have that. Hope I will attend this course. Yeah, I have to make it faster. Yes, let's see what, oh, I started it from the previous, so that's not good. We don't like to just collect empty data. React. Thank you. Okay, now let's see, we have here. Really? How? Because I don't see any data here. How about again? But why the first I should see data?
Sorry, I don't really understand where the argument in the add student function comes from.
Yes, that's a very good question, because now, do you know, we're passing another parameter here, right? Yeah. This is the function declaration. We are just creating the function here. Yeah. We are using it here. Where are we using this function? We are using it here. This dot add student, this dot state. And actually, I made a mistake here, because the whole state is actually not what we want, because the whole state has this and also this. So we should focus only this one, but without this. Okay, in that case, we have to destructure everything we have there. Yes, that's the, so const, you may say, actually, I can say first name, last name, country, and the gender, skills. What's the other? Skills, motivation, and course. Motivation and course. I think that's what we need. We don't need from what? This dot state. And then we need this again as in here as in an object like this. I think we used much. Yeah, I destructure it. The reason why I destructure it, because not to use this together, because this is our container. All the data we get from here has to be populated here. Yeah. Now let's see. If I click, what I may see, but what? Yeah, nothing is happening here. But which line is it coming? $54. Okay, let's see 54. This dot set state. Okay, maybe I can just print the state outside, but because that at that level, it may not notice the change. So console outside this state. You can't do it here in a class-based component. You can only write here, okay? And now let's do that. Is it increasing? Yes, it's increasing. Let's do that too. And let's see also, yeah, now yeah, we see it properly. Now let's add also data. This person, whatever, and thank you for your time. Let's see. But we are adding on top of what we had, but let's see, the last should have a data. As you can see, yeah, it's full of data, as you can see. Now we have completed, then now it's time to render what we have. How do we render actually? If you remember, we can render here div a number of students. It's not a very good place to put it here. Then I can just get this down and create list of students. And now I may say this dot state dot students dot map. How many times did I talk about map? 100 times. And when it comes to React, it's all about map, as I told you. Let's just list one student. Student dot first name. Yeah, with this we can start. Yeah, this person, and we don't need the other value because now only just the name. So have you seen one person we added? Let's change this to here C. Here C. Sorry for that, I don't remember now. QC is added here, and yeah, we got 3 students already, right? Yeah, but we have to have their family name, right? So it's better if we put them like this, and we can just last name. Yes, the best way to add is just my name because I know myself. And John Doe John Doe is a very good example. John Doe from UK, I think from anywhere else and whatever. But anyway, we have two people now, but so far we are in just interest. And now maybe instead even you may put this into a div. So you may create a kind of a div. Oh, what's happening like that? Div, and then maybe I may say h1 for first name, and then the rest, what's the other first name and country or nationality, this student country, and then actually gender, student dot gender, and actually course, the course he's going to attend, and student. This is what we have been doing, right? So it's familiar to you. Then course. Then I think what's this person motivation? Let's see. His motivation. Student dot motivation. Okay, great. Now I may start with my name, and it's a male, and React I want, but as you can see, I didn't have such a UI for this, but anyway, I am really motivated to attend the lesson or the course or whatever. Yeah, then let's just put that, and we should see, as you can see, Finland, as you can see, the name of the person and the country and the gender is male in the course, and the motivation is coming here. Yeah, but I think we didn't get the value of the what is this skills. Yeah. Okay, good. Tell me, how can I render the skills?
Students.skills.
Okay, students.skills.
Is it dot values?
What is students?
Students, not students.
Oh yeah, student. Yeah, sorry. Student. Yeah. Then student. Tell me after that. This is this doesn't work. It's a crash actually. The application will be.
So array element.
Yeah.
Values. Is it an object?
Yeah, it's an object. As you can see, it crashed.
We need dot values.
Yeah. How?
Square bracket or something.
Additional square bracket. Additional.
Skills and square bracket, and the value of the skills are.
It is an object.
But can we like put dot values?
Dot values for object values.
Values.
That's a kind of a smart. I could go different approach because we have the form now you are getting is something like this. Okay. HTML and something HTML. So as she said, it's a very good one. Just values might not give us, but object dot values, and then putting this may help, and but still we need a customization. That's not even enough, but this is already a big step. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, have you seen? But that means this already now an array. So now you can map it again. Dot map each skill to something. For instance, I can just map it to a span, and I can just inject the skill here, and then I can create some style here, style, and border 2 pixel, 2 pixel, solid gray. And now since we're focusing on this part, let's see, why we don't see anything. Okay. Object values dot skill, we do the mapping, right? Span. Span is all the time very lazy kind of HTML element, so you don't see much thing going on because it's a inline element. So let me try again. Yeah, as I told you, this what is this? This in span. Sometimes you don't see the effect. You have to add lots of CSS to see the effect. Anyway, even we don't have, and the reason why I didn't see also the border because of this. Now I should see it, but it doesn't really make sense. Yeah. Anyway, we don't need this ugly style. Just the pure is just good enough. So now if I just add people, and now with some skills and with some lab later, I rain or shine, I will be there. Just count on me. Oh, such a false promise. Okay, have you seen? Yeah, so this is one person profile. So what you need is adding additional person, and you will have. Then if you style this, it will be a kind of a profile page or a profile card, a kind of. This is how a component works. Yeah. Then I think we should have a 10 minutes break. This is all about form handling. What is left? I think we will validate this at some point. Now it's not a good idea to validate on, because first you have to understand this how it works. After that we will handle the validation, maybe the last day of the lesson. How about if we have break? But do you have any kind of a question? Okay, it seems no question. So then let's have 10 minutes. Let's have a 10-minute break. Yeah. Yep. Welcome back. So guys, we wrote this and everything is actually on one file. So how about we create this a folder, we can call it components, yeah? And we can create a new a file, add form. I think I should say component, add form or add student. I can call it add student because it's the task for this component is adding student and guest. And in a lazy way, by the way, you can generate a component in a lazy way by writing RCF or something. You can do some kind of component on the fly because I'm using React. This extension allows you to, whenever you just write React, and the second option, you get this extension allows you to create React boilerplate. For instance, let me show you RSC, just maybe this one, it just gave me functional component. This a different kind of. I will come to this kind of the props and these prop types, but anyway, let's write just or copy what we had. So what we should do, import React from React. Great. And then class add student node and extends from React dot component and render. This is what we need. And you should return something, yeah? Now what we return is actually is here. We take everything what we have here. Maybe I think everything what we have here is for maybe let's take this. Step by step, I can just take the state here now. And then as you may imagine, this is supposed to be the submitting. And I can take also here. Printing is not important anymore, so we don't have to print and see what's happening. And we remove all this, the print out. Okay, good. So we don't need this to be here. What did I delete? Yes, handle this. Now we may not need this. We copy everything all the way down because it's part of the form, right? Up to here. And we put it here. What happened? Just we brought some, maybe we don't need this for the time being. And this should start from there, yes. Or the best way for you, you should put it in a parenthesis. Yeah. Good. And you should remember export, default, and add student. Now maybe I think it's better to put it in one side, and if I have this, as you can see now, you don't see the, you can see the student. So I have to import it to this file. Okay, how do I import it? Maybe I can import it. But I think actually I should put it at the top. Import add student from dot components and add student. And then when I render it somewhere like add student, you see the form. Now you see the form. As you can see, the form is here. Is it working? Because now it's not the way it used to be. We touched it, so we have to work on it. So we don't need this file anymore. That function. The submit, do we need it here or somewhere else? Now we can just take it there too. Let's take everything actually we don't need here. And do we need any state now here? No. Maybe we need the state. Let's say, then in that case, I can leave handle submit and okay. But we don't need this part of the state. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I think I'm in the wrong file. Oh, no. Do we have one change here? Yes, that's good. Do we need handle submit? We may not need. We can just okay, let me just keep it here for some time. Yes, rearranging is not easy, guys. Sometimes when you restructure what you have, but we don't need all this. We just only accumulated students from this side. And we may need this here. Add student, this dot state students. Yeah, that makes sense. We don't need this. Now the structure of this, we don't even destructure now because in this we don't want now that to, we just need only this part. So I don't have to destructure it here, so I can just use the state because I need all the data inside the state. This dot state. Yeah, but now let's first clean if we have some value, something wrong. What is this? Warning, use the default value or value props instead of setting a children on text area. Where is it? I think it's related to text area. On change, we have this. And what is the value? We didn't use the value here. How? That's value. This dot state dot motivation. So you have to clean such kind of warnings. You should go and clean the warnings step by step. I think this is just written manually. And as you can see now, we don't have any warning or error. So just let's move on. I don't also need this comment for the time being. Okay, great. Now my add student component has all the fields. And I have also this, yeah, as you can see, this one most of the time in the JavaScript, this is preferred, yeah? And I have this, handle submit, but where is my, this add student coming? Yeah, actually it is not here. So now let's go to the here. If you see now, the state is here. The student, as you can see, it is 0. Now we have one state. But do we need this one? This handle submit. No, we don't need. Do we need this add student? I think everybody looks confused. Yes, we need this add student, but where? We should send it to the add a student as in a props. So we can send actually function as in a props now. I'm sending this function as a props to the add student component here. And then now here I have to access it how? This dot props dot add student. I think now it should start working. Have you seen now? 1, 2, empty data. Yeah, the data of the people we managed to. But now, as you can see, there is still warning. Okay, what is this? Each child in a list should have a unique key property. Do you remember this warning?
Yeah.
Yes, whenever you map, you should have a key. And now, for instance, if this data were coming from a database, it should have this called unique ID, but now we can fake it with something. For instance, I can say key and just maybe the student name could be the same, but even we could have used the function generator, the hexa, and generate random thing there and populate random unique, but it should be unique. And then we can add, for instance, a skill dot first name for the time, just to make it a bit different. And then now, if I am adding this, there's nothing wrong. But if I repeat the same with this name, it will be wrong. Why? I will see an error. Why? I will show you. No, there was no error, but it should show somehow. For some reason, just the name. How is that possible? Let's see then. I have to see the React. Do you remember this? The component, and let's see here the students. I want to see how does components. But how many components do we have? 2 components, and yeah, because that is we didn't make a component. If we made a component, specific component for this part, we could have seen that this the key value. But I think we should also maybe see it as in HTML4. Let's see. Div, and we've been creating students, and where was the first name? Yeah, I was expecting, actually it was in the skills part, yes. The skills part. Yeah, I couldn't manage to see the key anyway.
I have a question.
Yes.
You wrote the key, you wrote something like skills dot first name.
Yes. Because in the skills, I was using one of the person's name as a key. but it's wrong actually. You can't use, but just for this, for the time being, to remove the warning, I use that. In real life, in a real life project, your data come with an ID, with a unique ID. Yeah. So in that case, you use, for instance, oh, this was wrong actually. And a skill, because student dot name, student instead should be student dot name, and even this is wrong because for all the skills I'm going to have name. When I'm rendering them, I will have name for all of them. Yeah, but maybe just for the time being, even you can use the index, but never use index for, sorry for that. We can get the index only here. When we map, we can have also an index, right? And then we can use index here. Yeah, but data usually comes with a very unique ID. Yeah. Now we map this value, and this is now in a different file. This. So we have this state in the add, and we have this state in the app. So which one is the parent? This is the parent, and this is actually the child. Most of the time, we put our state in the parent component, everything. But in this case, I think it's okay also to have state in here, because this input, this value is just meant for only for the add student. Yeah. I planned to show you how we fetch data, but I think it will be a bit hard for you to continue. Maybe we can continue next week. So well, let's just see what we are left with. By now, you have a foundation of React. By now, everybody should know what is JSX element is, how to render JSX element, how to inject data to JSX element, and then how to create functional components, and also how to pass props from one component to another component. And also you should understand what kind of props are you getting. Is it a string or a Boolean or an object or an array? You should identify that. And now we learned also class-based components can have a state. The reason why we make class-based component, actually, we want to have a state. Why we need state? Because when there's an event, when something changes, we have a chance to see a different layout. Yeah? Yes, that's one of the reasons we need. And we covered state, and we saw conditional rendering. Also, we will come to that. Event handling. Today, we saw event handling, more of by form, how to handle form data. We learn today the kind of form we learned, we call it controlled input. We've been controlling the input, and then we will see also how uncontrolled input looks like. I think the next portion is going to be life cycle, component life cycle. Does components have life? You know, everything has a life. Everything has a beginning and an end. Components do that. Do have that too. And then maybe we also see third-party packages, and we install some packages when we see this component lifecycle. And on Thursday, we see also React Router, fetching the Axios. most probably we cover wide variety of topics, because after this nothing uh, held me back, that just to cover quite a variety of topics, because I know that you have the foundation. Okay, so we will speed it up a bit. So I strongly recommend you to go back and practice. Just practice a couple of times, and it really helps. I think that's my suggestion. Yeah, do you have any question? Do you know how? Yes, I heard a question.
Oh, no, thanks. Said I didn't have any questions now.
Okay, great. So, do you know, by the way, do you know how to clone this from, you clone, and whenever you want to run this, you have to at least write, after you clone it, you should say, for instance, for this, npm install, right? You should do that. And then after you do that, npm start. Clone means if you download it from GitHub. First you have to download, and you have to go to this repository or any of the repositories, and you should do that, npm install. Why? Because when it's on GitHub, this is not going to be uploaded. Even we have this, if you have noticed that, this, the git.ignore, we ignore it. We don't like to push this folder at all. So I may just show you how it looks like there also. I hope most of you understand what I meant.
Yes, Sabina, that was one of my question. Since the node module is already ignored, we have to install it in our local machine, right? Yeah,
Yes.
I've already said it. Other question, actually, it's not related to React, but are we required to know jQuery on top of JavaScript?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I will come to that.
Okay.
Yes, guys, I will come to that because I have to finish this part, the one I started. Like if you go and want to make use of the React project we created last time, and when you see the node module, it's not here. So you have to come to this folder and you have to write this. Npm install. And then after that, npm run, npm start, npm start. That's right away. It works for you with no problem. So you can do the same for all the projects we created. But the first 1 or 2 weeks, you can just right click and run because it's just an HTML without anything. Thank you so much. So I have to stop the recording and then I will answer your questions.